The Las Vegas Raiders are making big moves in their search for a new head coach. They've officially started setting up interviews with potential candidates, and there's some exciting news ahead. The first name on the list is Ben Johnson, the current offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. The Raiders have requested an interview with him, and it's scheduled to take place virtually this Friday. While it won't be an in-person meeting, this is a significant step, as Johnson has been one of the most talked about possibilities for the job. Hopefully, this interview will go well for both the Raiders and Johnson, possibly creating the perfect match. The Raiders are also looking at a few other candidates. Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the Lions, is on the list, along with Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. Additionally, Mike Vrabel and Liam Cohen are under consideration. This list is shaping up to be a crucial part of the Raiders' process in finding their next head coach. An interesting aspect of the interview process is the involvement of Tom Brady. Regardless of how you feel about him, there's no denying his influence. Brady's reputation and success as a seven-time Super Bowl champion bring a level of respect and attention that could positively impact these interviews. His leadership and experience are undeniable, and it can't hurt to have him involved, especially in a process as important as this one. Among the list of candidates, Ben Johnson stands out as the most exciting option. He brings a fresh, innovative approach, especially when it comes to offense. His work with the Detroit Lions offense has been impressive, and many consider him a rising star in coaching. The Raiders would be smart to aim for a young, forward-thinking coach who can develop talent, particularly with young quarterbacks, and build a modern NFL offense. Johnson could very well be the next Sean McVay-type coach the Raiders need to move forward. I'd be genuinely excited if Ben Johnson were to be hired as the next head coach. However, it's clear that he's going to be a top choice for many teams looking to fill head coaching roles. Teams like the New England Patriots, Jacksonville Jaguars, and possibly even the New York Giants, depending on their future with Brian Daboll, might also be interested in him. Johnson is definitely a talented coach, and some reports suggest that he might be aiming for a salary in the range of $8 to $10 million annually. While that's a significant amount for someone without head coaching experience, his growing demand could drive up his price if multiple teams are competing for his services. Ben Johnson has had an impressive career trajectory in the NFL. He began his journey with the Miami Dolphins in 2012, where he started as an offensive assistant. Over the years, he was promoted to several key positions, including quarterbacks coach, tight ends coach, and wide receivers coach. His time with the Dolphins helped him build a solid foundation. In 2019, Johnson joined the Detroit Lions, first as an offensive quality control coach. From there, he moved up the ranks, becoming the tight ends coach in 2020, the passing game coordinator in 2021, and finally the offensive coordinator in 2022. Under Johnson's leadership, the Lions have had a remarkable run, with their offense ranking among the top 5 in the league. In fact, during the 2024 season, they led the NFL in points per game. Johnson also played a pivotal role in the Lions' success last season, helping them reach the NFC Championship game, where they narrowly lost to the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the Lions are once again in a position to contend for the Super Bowl. Johnson's ability to develop quarterbacks, like the impressive turnaround of Jared Goff's career, has been a key factor in the team's success. Ben Johnson has also been on the radar for a head coaching job for a few years now. In 2023, teams like the Carolina Panthers showed interest, but he chose to stay with the Lions. Last year, his name came up in connection with the Washington Commanders. Now, in 2025, the Las Vegas Raiders are set to interview him, further solidifying his status as a top candidate. As a coach, Johnson is known for his creative play calling and meticulous attention to detail, which has played a huge role in the Lions' offensive success. He's credited with being able to bring out the best in his quarterbacks, and his leadership style is a big part of what makes him stand out. While Johnson doesn't have a coaching tree that's directly tied to big names like Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay, he's been influenced by a variety of different coaches over the years, which has helped him develop a unique and effective approach to coaching. Ben Johnson's coaching journey has been influenced by several key figures throughout his career, helping shape his approach to the game. He was inspired by John Shupp, his offensive coordinator at the University of North Carolina, and during his time with the Miami Dolphins, he worked under several notable coaches, including Joe Philbin. This connection could play a significant role in his future, especially if his path crosses with Philbin again, though there may be some lingering questions about how Philbin views the treatment of his staff this season. Johnson's style as a coach draws heavily from the West Coast offense, particularly the influence of Mike Holmgren, Sherman Lewis, and Mike Sherman. He incorporates many of the same principles into his own offensive scheme, focusing on quick, accurate passes and a balanced approach between the running and passing game. One of the standout features of Johnson's offense is its creativity. He uses a diverse running game to keep defenses guessing, much like modern-day offenses built by coaches like Kyle Shanahan. His ability to create multiple looks from similar formations confuses defenses, while his use of RPOS run-pass options and emphasis on speed puts constant pressure on opposing teams. His aggressive mindset and analytical approach to coaching are also key to his success. With a background in mathematics and computer science from his time at the University of North Carolina, Johnson uses analytics to inform his play calling and overall strategy, setting him apart from many other coaches in the league. What sets Johnson apart even further is his ability to adapt his schemes to maximize the strengths of his players, especially his quarterback, Jared Goff. Under his guidance, the Detroit Lions have developed one of the most dynamic and exciting offenses in the league, showcasing just how effective Johnson can be when given the right talent. For the Raiders, Johnson should absolutely be the top priority in their search for a new head coach. Despite his youth, he brings a wealth of experience to the table. He's had several different coaching roles in the NFL, from offensive quality control coach to tight ends coach, passing game coordinator, and finally offensive coordinator. His time in various roles within the offensive side of the game gives him a deep understanding of the intricacies of building a successful offense. When compared to someone like Liam Cohen, who has had less experience in the NFL, Johnson's years of experience as an offensive coordinator stand out. Cohen's experience is more limited, with a brief stint as the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2023 and a prior position with Kentucky. While Cohen's background in college football is notable, Johnson's extensive NFL experience makes him a much more appealing candidate for a head coaching role at the professional level. While Liam Cohen is definitely worth considering, especially given his potential as a candidate, Ben Johnson's resume stands out much more, especially in terms of experience and results. Johnson has already shown what he can do as an offensive coordinator, and his impressive work with the Detroit Lions has placed him on many teams' radars. Cohen, on the other hand, only has 2 seasons as an offensive coordinator, which is relatively limited compared to Johnson's extensive background in the NFL. Still, Cohen should definitely be interviewed as part of the process. Overall, I feel positive about most of the candidates the Raiders are considering. For example, Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, is a great defensive mind, known for his aggressive defense. However, I'm not entirely sure if he would be the right fit as a head coach. His previous head coaching stint with the St. Louis Rams didn't go as planned, so it's worth questioning whether he could succeed in that role again. One candidate I think the Raiders should seriously consider is Cliff Kingsbury. His offensive mind and experience with quarterbacks could be valuable, but again, we'll have to see how the interviews unfold. The interview with Ben Johnson on Friday is going to be an exciting moment in this process, and I'm hoping it goes well for both sides. However, as with all things in the NFL, we'll have to wait and see how things play out. This decision is going to be huge for the future of the Raiders, especially when considering players like Max Crosby. His future with the team could depend heavily on the direction the Raiders take with this hire. If the Raiders hire the wrong person and end up firing them after a year or two, I think that would be the final straw for Crosby. Stability is key, and the last thing the Raiders want is another round of turnover that leaves their star players frustrated. Raider Nation, I want to hear from you. Who are the candidates you're most excited about? What do you think of Ben Johnson and the other options? Let me know in the comments below. If you love Raiders-related content like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.